see. Check that. Let's check. Yep. Okay. Cool. All right. Howdy, folks. My name's Dave. I'm a woodturner. Welcome back to the broadcast. It is Twitch Tuesday, and I'm definitely ready to turn some wood. I am working on. I had a piece that had a hidden void. A piece of maple crotchwood had a hidden void in it, and so I roughed it out, but I wanted to make the hidden void the entryway for the hollow form. I was thinking about turning out of this. I was thinking about turning the hollow form out of this. And I intended to work on it before today, but that didn't happen. So we've got this nice lump of timber here. So this was the hidden void that I uncovered once I got down to this level in the timber itself. And I thought about filling this with dirt or sand because I dug all the dirt out of it. And I realized that if I add dirt and or sand, that's going to dull my tools pretty quick. So what I did was fill this, stuffed it full of wood shavings. And then I poured the resin in there. So there is still some dirt in there somewhere, but everywhere I cleaned out is mostly packed with wood shavings. So that should be a better experience, I think. I don't know. So we'll go like that. So this is going to change shape a little bit, apparently. And I want to try to get on a balance point again. And normally, when I'm doing that, I'm working on, like, I'll raise this side up a little bit, check the balance. If it's not right, then I'll go move this side a little bit and just keep seesawing back and forth till I get it centered. So this might be a little wobbly, not wobbly, vibration, or might add some vibration to the whole process here. All right, so looking at this guy, I think that I kind of want to get the entry hole right in here. And so I want to start on the balance point, but that's where I can't move this side. So I will have to find the balance point by just moving where the drive center is set. And probably would help to, come on, get that out of the way maybe. So I really want to get as much vibration out as I possibly can. This is a misshapen piece, and I had it centered when I turned it originally, but now that I'm going completely off the original script, I guess, it's like once I found that void, it was like, yeah, that's got to be, if I can get there, that needs to be, let's see, let's go see, yeah, that's where it's at. Come on. Get in there. There we go. Well, I didn't move it much, and it really shifted quite a bit. All right. may need, you know what, I do. I thought this point was out far enough, but it clearly is not. So we'll bring it on out. I'm so glad I'm able to use the wrench on the headstock and I don't have to beat those out of that side. All right. Let's go with that. Find my spot again. There we are. Say that's it. And let's try any one of these. And drive that point in a little bit so that I've got a place for it to seat and it won't slip and slide all over the place. All right, so that was a lot. Let's try that. Just slowly start working it into position. I want to find the spot that no matter where I turn this, and I need to actually loosen that up just a bit. There we go. I want it freewheeling as much as possible. Let's try that. Wow, come on now. I think it was in that spot right there. So go to that one. That was too much. So we'll go halfway and see what that does. Still a little bit. And this is still fairly green, so this might be just a tad bit tricky. Yeah, I barely moved that. That might be the closest one I get. It's close. It's close. And I think that will be probably the closest I will get to it.
Morning, a wild maverick entered chat.
Hey, man, how you doing? A wild maverick. There. Yeah, this is that piece I was working on last Wednesday that I needed to do something about this void here because I wanted to use the void as the entry hole for the piece, I think. And so I filled it with wood shavings, packed that in really good, and then top that off with resin so I had something to hold on to because I'm pretty sure that's where I want my entry hole. Let's see now, what can I do here? And right now I'm just kind of checking out where I might want to start cutting it. Let's see if that goes that close. And I will remove, where's my thumb, that much there, which should leave this probably. Okay. All right, so we're definitely going to change the size of it, but I don't think that was going to be a surprise. All right, so that all clears. Let's make sure that, uh-oh, something stuck.
Mav K14 said, "Look a ham on a spit."
Yeah, it does resemble that, doesn't it? Try to keep the fire away, but since I'm in a wood shop. Okay. Glasses are on my head. There we go. So let's give this a spin. What am I looking at? I'm going to cheat the system here, and since this is a Reeves drive, I'm going to dial it down by spinning that. There we go. Okay, so not a lot of vibration. That's a good thing. There's a little bit, but it's not a ton, and I can work with that. All right, so where's the closest point? Say that or that. That right there. Okay. All right, let's do a little turning here. Let's see, move the computer a bit. And actually, I think it would be a really good idea if I cover that up. Okay. So that's that view. Let's go with that view so it's not so glitchy. And you see the bark inclusions here. This was a branch. There's bark inclusions all throughout this thing. It didn't seem like there was a big void in there, but then again, it's inside. I can't totally tell. I did shine a light in there, but who knows? This little fissure might come out of that. That little fissure might come out of that. So this is going to be interesting. Let's get started. Tool was loose in the handle. We can't have that. I'm using the entire wing of the tool to remove the material. Just hogging it off. It's easier to do with green timber. All right, so I can start, I think. Let's see. And then that goes out to there, so I'll have to shave some of this off. Well, I guess we'll find out. So I'm kind of hoping I'll see some burly stuff in here, but there's definitely a lot of figures, so that's a bonus. Now clears. Okay. And I'm going to keep checking this as I go because again, it's got bark inclusions. Where I'm at with the holding of the piece is all solid wood, but I mean, these are bark inclusions. This could possibly fly apart. It is maple. Usually, I only have that happen with cherry, but let's just see how it goes. That's interesting. So there's some nice color variation in some of this. Definitely this weathered bit. I want to try to save as much as I'm going to try to save as much of it as I can. We'll see. We'll see what comes out of it. Yeah, that's pretty. Okay. Well, if I can get this. Oh, well, let's just keep playing with the shape. This is, I think this really might be more interesting than I think. All right, so I will wind up cutting into that, and probably that. Okay. Okay, so we got a little bit piece that bark that got knocked out there, which is all right with me. It didn't hit me. Okay, that's looking pretty good, I think. I want to get my tenon down down in here, and I may actually need to move the center on this again. That might be pretty cool. Hopefully that doesn't pop out of there. All right, that clears, that clears. So right now, I'm following the ghosting line up on top, because that lets me see when opposite edges actually line up visually. Well, not this one. That'd be a mighty big toothpick. I guess maybe for Paul Bunyan, yeah? Okay, so yeah, this, I'm pretty sure that goes all the way through into there. And these might as well. Yeah, this would be all right. So I'm getting up to, yeah, I'm getting up to the general shape I want to see on the top. I think the trickiest part of this is that I'm still cutting quite a bit of air. Got some checking going on there, and that was hidden under bark, so I didn't know that was there. Yeah, that's looking really close. There's going to be all kinds of figure right down in there, a bunch of right there, a little bit in here, some there. I don't know what's going to be down there, but there's a lot that goes all the way through there. I think it ought to look pretty cool. So I guess I will need to, or do I? No, because I can sand this once it dries. I don't need to worry about blending this in with the tools. I can leave that and then just sand it. Just fine tune the final bit of the top here, I think. Let's see. Let's work this some. See what that kind of looks like. Yeah, it's going to carry all the way through. Oh, I guess it just carries all the way through right up to the other side and then branches out that way. Yeah, nice. Oh, this bad boy is compressing, so I'm going to move this up a little bit. I think some of that might also be that the resin is kind of sinking in a bit. Okay, I see that's pretty secure. All right, I was headed this way. take that up a little bit. I can take off a little bit more, so that'll be all right. Okay, so that is not bad. It's a lot of bark going in through there, but a lot of solid wood underneath that too. It's hard to make a determination. Really, I think it's all going to hold together, but it's hard to make a determination. You can't see everything you're working on. Okay, I need to take, let's see. I think I will bring in, where are you, buddy? There you are. Negative rake scraper. Might be a little too high. That should clean that up really nicely. Too far, right there. I hope you all are enjoying the weather that you're getting. It looks like winter has decided it's going to hang around a little bit longer here. So our daytime temps are dropping right back down to the 40s and 50s, and we're hitting freezing temperatures at night again this week. I am ready for winter to be over. Okay, now that's ready for sanding once it might be dry enough now, but let's work on how I'm going to hold this. And I think I'm good here. Some of the stringers of resin that popped out or got stuck on the wood when I was doing the pour, but at least they're small little threads and easy to remove. There we go. Alright, that'll have to sand out, but that's okay. Now let's see. Then I can blend that in with sanding, and I can blend this in with sanding, and that little bit. But I think trying to look at my shape, I want to do any of the refinements. It's gonna be short and squatty. That's okay. Before I put this in the chucks, I can still move things around. Of course, I'm getting closer to the point where I'm not going to be moving things around anymore because I'm already working on the finished surface. But let me take my maybe scraper to the grinder here, and I'll be right back. I think this dude is set up for nope. Moving back. Set up for a skew. Look about right. Nope. That does, I think. All right, that guy's set. So looking at this shape, I can say it's really close to, I think I want to take this shoulder down just a little bit. It's really close to, oh, like 2/5, 3/5. I just need to shift this over a little bit, I think. Yeah, up there is a little bit better. Okay. You're not going anywhere there, pal boy. Or maybe you're trying to. Let's move that real quick. Oh, that's not gonna work. I need to lower my tool rest. had raised it for the negative scraper. Okay, I think that's a little bit more work down here, but I think that is a lot closer. Yeah, yeah. Whoops. Okay. All right, let's work on this tenon here. Might need to go lower. Let's see, this guy needs to end. Somewhere in there. All right, so following this line down, it should end right in there somewhere. And that's where I need to be for the tenon. So we'll need to adjust the size of this a little bit. show all of that. I wonder if you can see it from above. Let's see. Without. Maybe that guy shining in your eyes. Let's see. I don't know if you can see that all that well. I hope so. It just carries all the way through, all through that. So I'm at the point where I can do some sanding now. Let's see if we can do some sanding. Ah, that's what dropped. Wait, no, we don't want that. Where'd you go? Where did you go? My Grex sander fell off the lathe here because there is just a tiny bit of vibration. At least I think it did. I don't see it here now. Well, where in the world did it go? Oh, there it is. There we go. May have to take this off and set it aside for a little bit and work on something else if this isn't dry enough to sand yet. Let's see, let's set that up there. I don't have as much access to this as I can get. And we're going to go with that. And see how much the abrasive loads up. Oh, that was more than one. Oh, Lordy. Center that pad. I was looking at two pads. All right, time to grab the mask. We'll do that. Okay. It's still at the lowest speed on my lathe. Yep, that's loading up the abrasive pretty quickly. Let's try. The other side, it has been sitting for a little bit, so the other side might be okay. Yeah, that's sanding up really nice. I am going to have to go after this like now. But I'm going to wait because this part is not quite dry enough to sand. So what I'm going to do is take this off the lathe, set it aside, let the surface dry a little bit. And then I'm going to blend this stuff in before I go any further and make that tenon as well before I go any further. want to get the whole outside of the piece sanded. Yeah, that could be wrong. Whoops, there goes that. That piece of abrasive is toast. Negative ray scraper jumped off the way in there. Oh. Set that aside. Let's try a new piece of abrasive and see. I may be wrong. This might be just dry enough. Just picked up that tool handle and it fell off again. Okay, and then yeah. That's looking pretty good. Okay. All right, so it might just be dry enough. What did I have to go get that handle? And then I can run the sanders. How cool is that? Which means I will need to find where I put set it. Yes, I think these are the correct roll-off discs. Okay, got that and that. Now I need a little bit of Earl. Where did that guy go? Don't grab that. That would be CA glue. We don't want that. Set it up here. Water. Ha! All right. Bear with me. I'm gonna do just a tiny bit of searching here because I seem to have misplaced. Oh, maybe it's inside. That would be walnut oil, not what I'm looking for. There we are. It was inside. Okay. Couple of drops there. And I don't need to worry about that vibrating off the lathe because I'm not going to be rotating the piece. Well, by hand I will. Okay. Want to get rid of the abrasive as soon as it stops working well, because it just takes more work to try to get that sandpaper to work. It's a lot easier just to swap it up. Okay. Couple of drops there. Now the bonus of this is that when this dries, it's going to dry a weird shape anyway. So just me blending this stuff in will make a world of difference on how it looks. Wait for the compressor to catch up here. Put that away. Let's see, that away. Just about done with that grit. I could add texture to this too, I guess, but I really want all this figure to be this the star of the show, if you will. So let's see, I think that might actually help me out here. Let's see if it does. Yeah, a little bit. Alright. Find all the tool marks so I can get rid of them. I gotta watch it because some of this figure looks like it might be tool marks too. So that light being at an oblique angle actually helps tell the difference. Okay, look at any more. Whoops. Well, it didn't have to vibrate off the lathe. I just knocked it off the lathe. Let's see, I need this guy. Hang that up. All right. Go for the next grit. Oh, put this in the wrong one. Set that right there. I'll grab 2 of those. Okay. Don't really need that guy right now. So if you're wondering why I'm so concerned about the outside right now because once I start hollowing it, it's going to start changing shape. And I want to have the outside finished before I start that because it'd be too difficult to try to sand over pucker marks where the all this figure is going to start popping through the surface. Okay.
Mav K14 said, me and my Lottie.
Definitely sounds like a title to a song or a book, maybe a movie. TV miniseries. I say miniseries, but you know, I always hope that things get more popular. So maybe it could turn into an extended concept, who knows. Wait for it, wait for it. Boss Skaggs, man. Boss Skaggs. Good tune. Building castles way on high. Okay. I think that dude is done. That far anyway. Ah. Alright, let's work on the tenant part of it. Yeah. So I should move the air tool oil bottle out of the way. Ah, okay. I still have the other song playing in my head. See the crystal raindrops fall. And the beauty of it all is when the sun comes shining through. All right. So that's pretty good there, I think. Okay. Yeah, it's close. That'll work. I get through this bark. Well, maybe I don't so much. Because it's just a small area right there. Let's take the, oh, did it fall off again? That handle just doesn't want to stay up here, and I just bonked the camera with my big noggin. But this is, I mean, it's the main reason why I work hard to get to balance point on pieces that I'm working on, because just that vibration in the lathe is enough to throw things off. Let's see, I need my spindle gouge. Where'd you go there, buddy? There you are. Wrong handle. There. Yeah. I guess that's kind of appropriate to everything there this season. Turn, 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 baby. And yeah, that should be plenty enough wood all the way around. Okay. And then, where are you? You are not the guy. There you are. Let's see, before I do that. Yeah, before I do that, I really need to do this. Because I will not have the mass that I need to hold everything together if I go cut that turn off right now. Yeah, that's about right. Leave those for a second and grab this guy again. Well, at least my tools have the good sense enough to fall off on this side this time. Now I've got Lido running through my head. Parts of it anyway. Boss shad. And let it roll. See, that is not the correct abrasive I need for this part. Time that for tears and wasted water's all that it is. And it don't make no flowers grow. So I'm not, again, applying heavy pressure with the abrasive. Just making sure it makes positive contact because I'm using the tool as a friction sander. And I'm not trying to beat the surface of the wood into submission. I'm just trying to knock off all the high spots. Yeah, that's looking really nice. And get a fairly uniform surface before this thing starts drying too much. Okay. The tools that have fallen to the ground. Can't tell if that's a tool mark or if that's figure. That looks like that will be figure. Okay. Got that. So now let's do this. Oh, Dave, you're supposed to tighten down your tool rest before you go any further with that. You realize that, right? Not sure how far I can go with this. I just wanted to take a look. That's far enough. Cool. Okay. There's that dude. I need to wander over here, and I think it would be smart to get the larger jaws while I'm over here. So let's see. That guy and that guy. Whoops. Oh no, I want to leave it in there for now. Well, doggone it. I'm sure that put some marks on it. I'm quite sure of that. Where'd you go? I had to go and knock it off the lathe. Where did it go? Ah, there it is. Yeah, that just went and put some marks on it. Trying to get to this guy. So we'll have to look at that again. Let's move this over here for now instead. Bummer. Okay. Oh, I don't guess I need to wear this mask now. So I'll take it off. Okay, let's do this because that glitchy camera bugs me. I'm sure it's probably bugging everybody else watching it. Number 2. Who does number 2 work for? Oh my god. It's been a while since I've seen that movie. Let me guess. Do I have to swap back? Damn it all anyway. Yep, I guess I do. Well, I probably should have checked that, but I thought that I would definitely need the larger jaws here. There's a mark right there. Okay, let's. I wonder if it's actually, between jaw sizes. Let's see. This guy says you are 3 7/8. I go to 4 1/8. I think. Okay. Okay, well. So if I was a gojillionaire, I think I would have a chuck for every set of jaws, just so I wouldn't have to do this. And that's just me assuming that a gojillion dollars is a real thing. All right, let's go with this one and this one, and we will open this up and see. There's always the possibility that I have to adjust the size of the tenon, but I sure hope not. Okay. Boop. No. I knew they went out further than that. I mean, it is right on the edge of that. Would that fit on there? No, without some persuasion. All right, so I'm going to have to adjust the tenon here, which should be interesting since I've taken it out of the center. It'll be interesting to get it recentered. Hopefully, it won't be a huge hassle. What I do with that, I put it away, of course. All right, so this guy is 4 1/8, and that is the smallest I can go with the big guy. And I think
Mav K14 said, round and round, what goes around comes around.
Yeah. All right, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to make the tenon a little smaller because I'm starting to get into material here that I want to keep if I start getting down further into this tenon. So I'm going to make this bit a little bit smaller. And that way, these chuck jaws will work. Well,
Experience said Scupago Tomy 5 said, best viewers.
That's an interesting name. What was that? Experienced Scapegoat. Oh my 5. Okay. Well, it's the speech chat that was reading that in an odd way. Welcome to the channel. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for throwing a comment down in chat. I appreciate that. That helps with the algorithms and stuff, I'm sure.
Said, welcome.
I don't know if you have an interest in wood turning, but if you do, you've come to the right place, because that's what I mostly do here. So thanks for tuning in. Alrighty. So what I actually have here, once I get these put away, 4, 3, 2, 1. I actually need for a diameter is between these points. And that would be 3 and 5/8. Okay, so I don't take off too much. So let's move these aside for a minute or 12.
Mav K14 said, don't forget to follow.
Hey, thanks, man. Yeah, please throw a follow in there. That would get you access also to the past broadcasts, which are on my YouTube channel. All right, need this guy and this guy. I'll get this as close as I can. Turn, baby, turn. Think I'm trying to fall over here. Looks fairly well centered. And at the same time, I realize I probably should take this point in a little bit. What did the pliers go to? Yes, they did, and there they are. Is the magnet strong enough? Doo-da. Oh, Just barely. Okay. Wait, what did I do that for? Oh, duh. Just for a quick moment went, whoops, I shouldn't have taken it out. I still need to use it. Like, well, yeah, but let's get that wood out of there. Let's see, I need this guy. Wow, man. Got some wood jammed in there. Making it hard to adjust this guy. That should do it. Okay. All right. Please be. You're close. Oh, that threw it way off. That's not good. Come on. Ooh, no, no, no. There we go. I think that might be it, maybe. Probably not, but hey, it's worth looking at. Yep, way off. Gotta be picky about this because any movement off center will make one wall side thinner than the opposite side. Oh, come on now. That's not cool. It is close. Very close. I'm sure that was not enough to take it down to 3.5 inches. Or 3 5/8 rather, but it's pretty doggone close. Nope, set this down right here, Dave. You're gonna knock it off again. There we go. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. Okay. So the water weight in this piece is still pretty well off balance. So I think I'm probably going to wind up with vibration pretty much the whole time. But it should be low key. Let's see. Yeah, it's not bad. I don't care for it much, but it's not terrible. You know, I'm going to set this aside. I want to clean up all these marks here real quick, and then I am going to set this aside. The outside is done. I think that it would be probably a smarter thing for me to take this over to one of my friends who has a larger lathe.
Orange Dan 76 said, "Hey Dave."
Hey, how you doing, Dan? But this almost bowling ball piece of material is kind of pushing the limits of this 1-inch spindle. And it's giving me a little bit more vibration than I really want, especially if I'm going to have a tool going through this through the hole there.
Are you casting resin in that piece?
I did, yeah. I found a void. So what I did was I stuffed it full of, well, I cleaned all the dirt out of it, and let's see if I can get it better. Yeah, so it's all up in here, and I think that it also comes out here and here and here, and there's another bit on the bottom down here. So I think there's a couple of voids in it, but this one was filled with dirt, so I cleaned a lot of dirt out. I thought about
Orange Dan 76
putting dirt in
said,
there and
it
thought,
looks like you still have some voids in it.
oh yeah, oh yeah. Using sand in there to fill up the space so I didn't have to use so much resin would have dulled my tool pretty quick. So instead, I just took wood shavings and jammed them in there as hard as I could, and then filled that with resin, and then got to turn it today. So that resin will be gone. It was what I needed to get my live center, because this is where I wanted. Once I uncovered this void, that's where I decided I wanted the entry hole to be. So I had to shift everything, but in order
Orange
to do
Dan
that, I had to put that
76
resin
said,
in there.
Sand? Sounds like you asked yourself how fast you can dull your tools.
Oh yeah, that's that's why my first thought was like, yeah, I put a little sand in there because I know that the resin wouldn't go through the sand, and then my second thought was, well, that's not so smart. That means I'll be beating the hell out of the edge on my tools, and I don't wanna. I don't wanna. All right, let's clean these areas up where I bounced this off the floor. Doggone it. There's a spot.
Stuff it with something like that to take up space. Use your old shavings. At
That's
least they are wood and not sandpaper.
that's exactly what I did. Stuffed it full of shavings till it was a fairly decent depth that I felt wouldn't eat up too much resin, and then I poured it in there and kept topping it off as the resin kept flowing between the shavings. So I can leave that alone.
Orange Dan 76. I like to save for just that type of project.
Yeah, very cool. Let's see.
Mav K14 said, bless you.
Thank you very much. All right, that was a mark. Is that a mark? No. Okay.
Orange Dan 76.
I don't recall shutting the lathe off. And it is not running. Why? The lathe. I meant the compressor. It did not get shut off. Alright, so I'll have to let it sit for a few minutes. For some reason, the thermal switch kicked on. Huh. I wonder why. Looking through the viewport, there's plenty of oil. Well, I guess I can always sand it by hand. There's just a couple of spots. So that is the right grit. In which case, if I do that, if I do take this over there, I don't know. I'll have to record it and then put the video up because they are on. I don't think they're not on satellite. I think they have a Verizon Wi-Fi unit. I forget what they're called. And a data limit. So trying to stream from there. Well, that's if it's Joe's place. Trying to stream from there will eat up all their data, and I'm not doing that. It's funny, man. We got this quote-unquote tourist town. We have charter internet, which is just absolutely horrendous. Nobody out here that has charter is really happy with charter. But it's pretty much the only game in town unless you want to go to satellite, which will make things worse and slower. And I just think that's very odd in a quote-unquote tourist town. Did I get it? It looks like I think I might still have just a little bit there. Make sure all this is at least blended in. I know the outside is going to change shape, maybe even quite a bit with all this figure running through here. There's definitely figure. This is like seasoned. This was seasoned inside the trunk, I think. Well, part of it was anyway. This is still good wood here, or live wood rather. This was a branch that got grown over, clearly a bark inclusion. Looking forward to hauling this dude out. This will look really, really cool, I think. So I'll put this on a larger lathe because with this, like I say, with this bulbous piece sticking out of the chuck, I really am stressing out the 1-inch spindle and 1-horse motor on this thing. All right, let's see if that compressor will start up now. That's a hard no. That's very interesting. Maybe I have a compressor to get repaired now. That could be. All right. One moment. Turn off the sound for a second so you didn't have to hear me blow my schnoz. All right, so I'm going to take this guy off. I'm going to go get a bag. But essentially the outside is done. I'll just have that little bit to work on down here where the tenon is at once it's hollowed out. And I think that will be a really, really good time to get a little rubber chucky extender thing so I can stick it all the way through. I'll have support here at the bottom and support here when this is hollowed out to have this turned around and be able to turn that tenon and have it in the live center. That might work out really nicely. Okay, let's put this stuff away. That goes there. These go over here in that general area. I'm going to grab a bag. I'll be right back. But I am going to keep all of this natural wood that I can. The texture, all of it, I'll have to clean out. I see some of this resin actually ran down onto that wood, so I'll have to take care to clean that out later. Although on the other hand, if I get this hollowed enough, that may actually disappear. No, I can't make that a void because then all this goes away. Or can I? I don't know. We'll find out. We'll find out when we get there. We're not there right now. It's kind of a bummer. I got to stop on this because I definitely have the outside done. My preference is to, when I'm working with green wood, to get the whole piece done in one turning, so to speak, even if that's 8 hours. But this piece of maple is definitely going to move a lot. Actually, before I do anything, I'm going to go grab a bag. Let's see. I think I've got some in here. Yes. Let's grab 2. They're cheap. Oh, there we go. Ouch, ouch, ouch. Do my best not to mark it up again. Okay. Let's get this guy over to here. There we go. Okay, well, you know what? That means that I can grab this stuff in here and I can finish turning these dudes, which I was hoping to get to today anyway. Now I have to locate them. There's one. There is 2. Nope, that one's done. 2. Oh, I guess that one's done also. Really? Oh, I know what it is. Okay. So I made my first top like this. Yeah. And the ball bearing was just slightly off center when I put it in there. So I'm not counting that top. Okay. So let's finish with these guys while we're here. And then, yeah, I've got some birdhouses I can turn. I can turn some more of these guys. There's definitely plenty to turn. Excuse me. Oh, Orange Dan, sorry, I did not hear the speech chat say, how's life other than turning? Hope all is well. Yeah, seems to be. I mean, dealing with VA and some medical issues, but I'm hanging in there, man. Thank you for asking. Hope you're doing well. I hope the whole house situation is resolving itself well. I know you've had a lot of hiccups with it. Let's see. I wanted to do this first. And I need to find my 1 and my 4. There they are right there. So I marked this guy where I can set it in the jaws in the same spot again, and hopefully that works out. What I need to do is turn this bit away and then set a ball bearing in there before I part the handle off. And this one was a nice one. I got to use a little bit of beach on this one. You are just not quite running true there, boss. Wait, is that coming apart? Why? Yeah, it seems to be. All right. Well, these are just a prototype anyway, but there we go. That's what I need to do. I need to go down this way. Oop, that was too far. Yeah, I could feel that. That was way too far. That is closer. So that means that the, come on, contact cement is not keeping these together. So I'll have to try something different. But there is the possibility that is a non-issue. I don't know. All right, let's see. I'm gonna grab that guy and that guy, but this guy probably needs to be sharpened. Yes. Yeah, you could stand it. How about that guy? Oh, you're sharp. I'll take that one. Got to have some sharp tools, man. See, glasses down. Here we go. Nope, actually, I need to clean the dust off of them. Yeah, that's not going to work out so well. What are my options? Let's see. Yeah, that's not one of them. All right, well, that's not a problem. I probably should have just removed that anyway. Oh, and I have some jam chucks to retrieve, apparently. and a metal chuck. Hey! How much wood could a woodchuck chuck? Woodchuck could chuck wood. So this ran through my mind. This is what I should have done the first time, actually. Is just remove that. Because that was a very weak hold. Oh, that was too much. Yeah, doggone it. That's all right, man. We can fix that this way. Alley-oop. That'll do. Oh, yeah, I do have the. Just thinking maybe I've got the wrong camera active, but I do not. Let's see. Oh, yep, good. I've got the ball bearings right here. And the glue is over here. How many lumps would you like? I like a whole lot of lumps. For anybody who has any nostalgia for Bugs Bunny. One lump or two. Two. Bam, bam. Let's see. Magnet for to help me hold the ball bearing because it is very small. Test fit. That'll do. Oh, before I do that though. That worked as well as I had hoped. Okay. Just a little bit of glue. Uh-oh, now I've got Rocky Horror Picture Show. It's just a step to the left. Oh, it's just a jump to the left. And then a step to the right. Put your hands on your hips. Hold your knees in tight. But it's the pelvic thrust that really drives you insane. Okay. And now, check one more time, see if that compressor will come on now, if it's reset. Nope. Okay. Big to the hand sending. And I put you over there. Ah! Fumble fingers. Ooh, that could almost be like a James Bond thing. Fumble fingers. No, maybe. Maybe not. Okay, there we go. So that's that one done. These CDs work out pretty nicely for these things. All right, next one. Well, we will do the same thing here, except I'll do it this way. There we go. And this guy. And then I can use the magic power of the lathe. It's lathe power. It's magic. Yeah. But I thought these would be a fun little project. Had a bunch of, I didn't quite do it, did it? Old CDs, recordable CDs, and so I'm going to donate some of them to the library. But I wanted to grab a few and make some tops, different kind of tops out of them. I think they look pretty neat. And then later on, I think I'll be able to spin paint them. And add maybe a little design element to it that way. Oh, that was the right one. Nope, that's not the right one. This is the right one. Huh. Well, I don't guess I really needed to balance that one then. I shifted it into the truck and put it on a different spot for these teeth to bite into, and it centered it right up. Oh, I'll take it. You know, we could take that shortcut too. Not quite enough removed. Come on. Too big there. Couldn't see where the point was going properly. There we go. It really drives you insane. Okay, another happy little ball bearing. Test fit, beautiful. Glue. Beautiful. Whoops. There we go. And that's another one completed. They turn really nice. The weight of the CDs Works out really, really well. I stacked 3 of them for anybody else that wants to give this a try. 3 of them. And I used contact cement between the CDs because, again, this was a prototype and I wanted to, but I did think the contact cement would hold better. So I'll have to figure out another way to do this. I didn't want to, like, mix up a batch of resin and, make a big mess that way, but maybe that'll be the way I need to go. I'm not sure. Tra-la-la. You are so close. There we go. All right. So just another little cool project you can spend your scraps on. This one, got the ball bearing on that one finished. So I'm just doing this one now. Let's see. Thought about making that a design element, but I think I'll pass. And pull your knees in tight. But it's the pelvic thrust that really drives you insane. Come here, magnet. There we go. Test fit. Too deep. Well, we can fix that. did I just knock over? Okay. The cap for the glue. All right, fit check. Beautimus. Fits a little too well, actually. Let's see if I can get that out of there. Oh, no. Wait, what is that? No, it's sticking. Oh, maybe I can possibly remove it if the nose of this, it does not come together. All right, well, it fits really well, so I'll grab some thin CA because it just kind of popped in there. And now it won't come out, so it's seated well, but I want to make sure it stays in there. All right. Oh man, I could do some really cool designs with the. Oh, I think I will. Well, I've got to try that. Yeah, well, I guess if I got to do that, I got to do it all over. Okay. I think I will do that. These are prototypes, yes. We can practice all kinds of crazy things with them if we want to. All right, let's move that guy aside. Don't need the magnet. So I'm going to take this Grex sander. Yeah, that does kind of give a nice little design. And then that will be also, that'll be on the other side. Huh. And then with, yeah, it adds kind of a cool little swirl pattern to it. That's kind of cool. Oh, yeah. It actually makes it reflect light better by just taking off a little bit of that. Nice. Very cool. All right. One, two, three. Let's get that out of there. And that out of there. Let's take a look. What are we looking at? Like 10? Yeah, okay. Let's see. Put the key away. Get that guy out of there. Put this away. Move that. Grab the glue and the accelerator. Move that away. else do I need to move? Let's see. Move those. And those. Okay, where am I at? This has got to get put away, and this should be put away. This should be put away. And everything else I have, I can use. Yeah, okay. So let's grab. So use that guy? No. Use this guy. And I need to mark my center points. Okay. So grab that guy. Boop. Center punch. Center punch. Yeah, I could do something about that too. All right. Looks like I got a little maple stuck in my live center also at the point where the cone comes through. And I need to push the cone back some. Because now I've got Douglas fir up here and I don't need that much point sticking out. Wow, yeah, that really got jammed in there. Okay. Yeah, there we go. Hey. Okay, that goes there, that goes there, that goes there, this goes back there. I need to grab that piece of fur again. There. Come on. Okay, I'll secure. How close are we to? Really close. So I'll take it. Okay. So I don't guess I really need these. Not right away. But I probably should leave that one out. I do like the smell of pine. I'll tell you, if you really want to get some good practice, practice with pine. You want to be able to get a surface like that without having to sand it. Come on, where is it? There it is. That pine is really, really nice to practice with. Okay, tools everywhere. Let's see. Leave that one there. Oh, I really should bring that out too, I guess. There it is. That's not what I'm after. Let's see. Yeah, this. Just gotta do that. That'll work. Oh, actually, no. Oh. What do I need to do? I need to take this down some more. Something like that, maybe. Yeah, that might be better. I'm going to grab my cordless drill here. Should have grabbed that first, but I wasn't sure that I was going to get to these. Where did I put the bag? Where's the bag, Dave? What'd you do with the bag, Dave? Did you leave it in the truck? Well, I'll be. I guess I did. Could have sworn I brought it in. I guess not. All right. Well, I guess I got to wander outside to the truck here and get that tool bag. This is kind of cool. I think I can take the microphone with me and you can follow along. Hey, that's the drill, and I do need to get that out of there. But that is the quarter drill. Oh, there it is. Oh man, tomorrow evening, I don't know if you can hear the peepers in the background. Tomorrow I'm going to try to get it over there before the sun sets to record that and put it on Instagram because I think it's pretty neat. I like hearing the peepers. Okay, let's see. Drill. There's the drill. Battery. Give me a battery. A battery, sir. There we go. Okay. All right, I think I will put it right there. Do I need to make this smaller? This one I'm going to leave that size, I think. And the next one I'll make smaller. Okay, thinkity think. That's not going to... Yeah, I'm not happy with that. All right, first things first. Let's grab... Let's see, I think a 1/4 inch, maybe 3/8. 3/8. And I will drill the hole for the stand or step or what do we call that? Doohickey that sticks out. I don't know. My English is starting to fade. Okay, so I'm not happy with that. I think that that is not miniature enough. So we're going to make it miniature even more so. Think that will do. I do really enjoy working with a skew. Because you can really do a lot with it. See, yeah, that's not bad. I'm going to take the tone down from there. I think that'll be okay. Now, I can really undercut that. That'll work. And then, let's see, let's put the hole right here. All right, this part right here will be before we get there. No, actually, I can hold it in there. Okay. Well, then let's go with this guy. And because this is fine, we'll leave things a little bit thicker. And I will need this guy for the other side. Oh, let's just drop tools everywhere, Dave. Okay, I think I'm on that. On one. There we go. Where's the saw? There it is. Was that narrow enough? No. Test, test. Okay, so thank you. This microphone died. I appreciate the heads up. Thank you very much.
Mav K14 said, "We're back."
Yeah. A little too much force. I get it. A little too much force just boogered that dude right up. All right, we're done with that. Trying to figure that out a little bit later. I can starting to feel myself fade a little bit, so I think it's probably a good time to call it for the evening. And look at that, it's 11 o'clock. But I can definitely feel myself starting to fade. So it's good timing.
Mav K14 said, "Thanks."
Ooh, that's got to be cleaned. Well, I appreciate you too as well for hanging out with me. I'll be back again tomorrow evening, assuming, let's see. Yeah, I should be back tomorrow evening, 8 to 11 Eastern Standard Time. Yeah, thank you all who hung out with me today. Thanks for participating in chat and the follows and all that kind of stuff. If you want to see the past broadcasts, you can go to my link in my bio that takes you to my YouTube channel. All of the past broadcasts are there. Please like, follow, subscribe, all that stuff when you go to visit YouTube. Appreciate that. For those of you who may not have made it in until late, my name's Dave. Howdy. I'm a woodturner. I started this channel. I started turning as therapy for PTSD. Found out I had a knack for it. Fell in love with it. And then I started teaching it, fell in love with that. So I started this channel to become a better teacher, a better demonstrator, and a better turner, because the secret sauce to all of this is practice, practice, practice. You just have to spend the time behind the lathe. There's no shortcuts. But, sharp tools, good instruction, lots of good practice under your belt, and you can do the things that I'm doing. This is not uh, uh, outside of the reach of pretty much anybody. I mean, if I can do this, you can do this. But I put the time in, and that is the key. Yeah, so awesome. I enjoyed myself. I will be. Let's see. I'm hoping that I can find. I'll figure out what I can do tomorrow. It might be this weekend, but I'm gonna find someone. Uh, put the kibosh on somebody for borrowing a larger lathe for this other piece that I don't want to put on here. It's too green and heavy. It's about the size of a bowling ball. Weighs about 16. It weighs about the same too, but it's bulbous right outside uh, of the chuck. That there, where I'm holding it. So I've got this big bulbous piece and 1 inch spindle with a 1 horse motor, and I think for that particular piece, keeping it that large, I'm biting off a little more than this lathe can chew, without beating itself up, and I don't want to beat up the equipment too. The whole idea is to have a smooth and enjoyable turning experience as possible. That means a whole lot of things. It means taking out this vibration everywhere you can. It means sharp tools. It means practice. It means getting the instructions to learn how to make the cuts. All that stuff. There's a lot of little pieces of the puzzle. Um, and I'm still collecting pieces myself. I don't know how big the puzzle is, to be honest with you. Uh, I don't know that there's ever going to be an end, which is fine with me. I want to learn as much about this as I can, and the things that I do, I'm scratching the surface of what is possible in wood turning. And there is a lot of talent out there, a lot of people wood turning. I'm not the only one, but this is my bent and how I approach it. And I always work to err on the side of caution and safety. And I definitely am a firm believer in keep your tools sharp and sharpen often. Myself, I keep several different bow because I have a modular handle more or less, so I just keep four or five. Well, now I'm down to four, so I keep four bowl gouges sharpened at all times, and then I can just swap them out in the handle, and I don't have to go to the grinder in between or each time. I go to grinder once and pretty much done for the day. As far as the grinder is concerned, most of the time, yeah, as long as I've got four bull gouges, I've usually not going back to the grinder all that much, which is nice. It keeps me at the lathe, and it is important to have your grinder close by. To that you can just. I used to have my grinder set right behind me, in fact, and I could go. I could turn until the tool was dull, turn right around, sharpen thing right behind me, and I didn't have to go very far. But I have moved my shop around several different times and made some adjustments and how I'm sharpening and all that. So I do my best, and it's only 3.5 feet away from me, but it's on the other side of the lathe. I got to walk around the lathe to get to it. So I want to spend as little time going back and forth as I possibly can, and more time right here in front of the lathe. But either way, set yourself up for success, set your tools up to have a good flow for yourself, sharpening and going back and forth. It helps a lot. And find some really good instruction. I'm a teacher. I teach. If you're in Traverse City and you want to take some classes with me, that would be great. Give me a shout. I'd love to hook up with you and get behind the lathe and throw some shavings. But somebody in your area, there are a lot of talented turners out there. Find your local wood turning club. They will know who the good wood turners are and who the good teachers are. I've got a long list myself, but I'm not going to give the whole list right here, right now. It really just depends on where you're at. If you're in Florida, I would say Rudy Lopez and Don Gagne. If you were in here, well, I would say myself, Lyle Jameson. If you were in Colorado, I'd say Stuart Batty, Mike Mahoney. Oh golly, there's a couple other guys up there. Um, anyway, there's turners out there who are hmm, who, hmm, hmm, who also look at this as a meditative and enjoyable experience, but they also have put the time in to get to that point. Give yourself the permission to make mistakes because you're gonna. Even the pros, whatever you want to call the pros, so even the guys been turning for 30, 40 years, production turners, and they go through a lot more material than I do. They still make mistakes. It happens. It depends on the material. Sometimes it's a material problem. Sometimes it's a loss of focus problem, getting a little tired. Maybe you need to eat, sit down, take a rest, whatever. I don't want to sit myself in front of the lathe when I'm too tired because I've got a rotating piece of material going pretty darn quick, and that's a recipe for the beginnings of a disaster. So I want to have the focus. It does take focus, and that's why I find that it's very meditative and works well for PTSD because my focus has to be right here. I have to be in the right here, right now, in front of this lathe. And all the rest of the stuff, that mind chatter can go on and do all that stuff, but my focus is here, and it helps me work through some of those things often. I can let it just do its thing in the background while I'm focusing here, and many times things will work themselves out, which is pretty cool. Anyway, again, thank you all for joining me. I hope that you all stay friendly. I hope you enjoy the rest of your evening, and I hope to see you tomorrow night, 8 to 11 Eastern Standard Time, right here on Twitch. Thanks again, folks. Good night. See you next time.